Poorly. Still, it's a bloody annoying distraction. I can tell already that it's going to be a long day. It's not even started. Before the racket even lasts another minute, I'm peeling myself off the chair and heading straight for the main door. There will be a murder today if this doesn't let up. How quaint. It seems everything in the blasted universe is intent on getting in my nerve as of late.
Gordon Bennett! Only a Nancy would knock at such an ungodly hour!
In the first place, I should not be the one doing this. This is why I hired a valet, for fuck's sake.
Where's that damn butler when I need him?
I'll be honest, if funny for today, with the mansion this quiet at this hour of the morning, it's easy to believe those little ghost stories might be real. But the only horror here is how odd my own wife has been acting as of late. There's no place for fear when another set of problems already burns that fuel. So I wait for another second. When no butlers still answer my calls, I simply yank the doors open myself, perhaps with more force than needed. Oh, he's trying to warn Luke. And maybe it should be appropriate there, considering the person on the other side and the hour he dared appear on my doorstep. Even someone without a brain knows not to disturb anyone this early. Brief confusion quickly gives way to anger, and before the bloody photographer can even get a word in, I'm hurling venom at him. It's less than he deserves, really. And I would disapprove, scold me for treating the photographer with such disrespect if she hears me right now. She seems fond of him after all, despite meeting him only once or twice. He's merely doing his job, she'll say. But she's not here, isn't she? What she doesn't know?
You? How the hell did you get in here?
You?
What in seven hells do you want? It's bloody 6 in the morning!
Listen, sir, I know this is not a good time.
Oh, it's not a good time! Did you even check the clock before coming here? I bet you didn't!
This is still my home. My rules also applies to this place as much as Anna's do. As simple as that.
Unlike you, the ones living in this house need to sleep.
It just so happens it's also a person that I will never take a liking to. No need for remorse.
Come back when people are actually awake, or I'll call security on you.
He continues shouting even as I slam the door in his face. Some nonsense about the news lately, though I don't understand most of it. However, with the closed door muffling the better part of it and with no ears to listen, his tirade doesn't last too long. Eventually, he leaves and silence once again fills the room as it should. In insight, maybe I should also call for psychiatric services. He certainly sounds mental just screaming like that. A suspicious man like him left roaming the immediate grounds? Nothing good can come of it. But if his presence would indeed bring a problem, a sign of bad things to come, I'd probably know soon enough. Worst comes to worst, Johannes would take care of it if need be. It's what I'm paying for. In the meantime, I need rest, even for just a few hours. My lovely wife is still fast asleep when I finally join her in her bed. She feels a tad bit warm to the touch too, but it's nothing to worry about, I hope. As odd as she has been acting lately, her company is nice after spending long, grueling hours going through business documents. And again, it's not like I'd be losing out much if I take a break or two. In fact, all I have to do is say the word and Vance General Electronics stocks are going to go down. That's the least I can do after Rochelle's Vance outburst during the party. I highly doubt she will be Rochelle Lee for long. Not if Harvey has any sense in him. So with that aside, I drift off, setting aside my problems, if only for a few hours. Not long into it though, perhaps only a few minutes in my mind, and Knox interrupts an attempt at getting some rest. Checking the time on my phone, however, shows that it's just half past 8. Still too tired, but what can I do about it? Getting up is an entirely different problem on its own. Waking up after getting a few hours of sleep in has my body stiff and sore and my mind feeling lethargic. Part of me wants to go back and doze off again, an alien feeling to me. But it's already far too late for my tastes, and on the second round of knocks, I reluctantly peel myself off the bed and answer the door, only to be greeted by none other than Shroken and his grumpy face. The sight of it is enough to dampen my own irritation, and I can only follow when he gestures towards the hallway. I have questions as to why he would bother me at this hour in the morning, but going by the grim, or rather grimmer than usual air about him, it must be something serious. The man stands there as relaxed and cool as can be, but his eyes hold an intensity that promises nothing but trouble.
I do hope I wasn't interrupting anything.
Well, I didn't want to sleep, but apparently the world conspires against me.
What do you want?
What do you want?
If you wish to sleep so badly, feel free to tuck yourself back in bed. I thought you ought to know that we've had an intruder.
Intruder? And sue me if that doesn't pique my curiosity. Intruders, these who will dare set foot into my house to try and rob me, were rare. If they had any form of experience, they'd have an idea not to mess with the rights, no matter how tempting our riches may be. But that did not mean attempted robberies did not happen. What was strange about this one is the fact that Johannes thought it was important to bring to my attention. Oftentimes they deal with pests because I would not really care how they take care of it, so...
This needs my attention, why? Are they any danger?
Actually, I think I'll let you be the judge of that. He's down in the parlor. Come on.
I glance at the bedroom door, hoping to goodness that Hannah will remain fast asleep before following him downstairs. Through the foyer, and into the parlor where a familiar man sits unconscious tied up to one of the chairs.
I thought I heard something scurrying around. As it turns out, it's a giant rat. And one that had pretended to be a harmless mouse, too.
It's a giant rat.
And he's still alive, isn't he?
They're talking about Zach when he broke out into the house. It's hard to tell. The way his body is too still, breathes too light. But it is there, the subtle rise and fall of his chest. Its presence lets me breathe a sigh of relief. A death caused by one of my men is normal, to be expected really. A dead body I can deal with. Could just be the one of many I've seen. But if one turns up while the missus is at home, I'm not too thrilled with the idea either, so he doesn't care if people die.
I saw no reason to do more than incapacitate him. So yes, the man is still alive. Of course, that can be remedied if you wish.
That can be remedied if you wish.
No, this is fine. He wasn't trying to kill us, was he?
If he was wholly unprepared. But I do not think he had such nefarious purposes. He is a big man, but he seems too soft to be a hired killer. A common trespasser or petty thief, maybe. Certainly nothing more.
That's not why Zach broke into the house. He broke in because he heard the cries of a woman and he decided to investigate. And when he entered this house, well, no one was crying. And he got caught. If a petty thief dares tries anything against me, people are forgetting the place. It's to be made an example of. A guy slacks off for once and everyone thinks they can get away with taking advantage. His thieving ways is going to be his one-way ticket beyond borders. It's only as my anger washes away that I realize that the sun is starting to rise off into the horizon. And I can only feel annoyance at myself for missing another night of sleep.
Call the police then. Let them round him up and bring me some bloody coffee while you're at it.
Thankfully, he leaves me to my own simmering as I take one of the free seats, and while waiting for my drink, I find myself staring at this man. And as it always does, when I'm in such a situation, the power I wield hits me like an unnatural eye. It's something else when I can hold a man's life in my hand without resorting to murder. A person is as good as incarcerated the moment I send them Harvey's way. And this makes me wonder if I can make luxury living grovel, beg for my forgiveness because of the crime committed against me by one of their staff. Deep in my thoughts, stuck in the power trip that rushes through me, I barely notice we have company until Johannes puts a cup of coffee in my hand.
Officer Carl and his colleague are here to collect. They'll want your statement.
And as he says, there are 2 officers by the door. So I can't even bother to spare them the slightest of glance before looking back at the unconscious Claywog.
If they need my statement, I'll give it to their chief. I'm due a visit to a good friend anyway.
A good friend? After my coffee and a bit of breakfast, of course. Once I'm done breaking my fast and after a cool shower, I called for Johannes to drive me to the police station so that I can give my statement. Through it all, Anna still slumbers. The way she remains undisturbed even with the commotion, you'd think she has somehow contracted a sickness of some sort overnight. And true enough, the moment the back of my hand touches her forehead, she's burning up. It's unfortunate there's no time to worry about this as much as I want to care for her. There's urgent business demanding my attention elsewhere, and with the rest of the staff away, and well, our marriage may have gone through a rough patch recently, but I still do feel as if I'm neglecting her like this. It doesn't help that the only thing I can do for now is to place a cloth tip in warm water on the forehead and leave a bottle of medicine on the bedside. And instruct Shroken to schedule an immediate appointment to a physician. I just hope that this trip to the city won't take too much of my time, or further ruin my mood. The ride to the precinct is a quiet affair. I'm in no mood for idle chat with what little sleep I had. Not everything is smooth sailing, however, as soon as I arrive at the precinct either. But as they say, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. It would be more suspicious if everything had gone on without Rufus. And it would be more boring too. Because who doesn't love a good fight and a bit of drama? There's nothing quite like beating your opponent down and making them learn who's the boss. If life just slumped over, there would be no point in even trying, but I would be much happier if the troubles life threw at me did not include ruining my suit. Life in this case is that estate agent lady who had the audacity to throw water at me.
You bloody...
Yep, she did throw water. And good for her, right?
It's been a pleasure doing business with you, sir.
Who even does that? That third world country woman who's gotten too big for her britches, that's who. This is a site on X5 and this whole assemble cost me 40,000 pounds. Jesus. I could charge her for water damages to the tire alone and have her begging down on her knees for my forgiveness. That Lily girl, really now? If I hadn't heard that the company she works for is closing, I'd talk to her manager and have her fired. A graceful exit into the police chief's room was all I could muster in the face of such insult. My mood is further soured by the fact that I can still see the rest of the precinct from here. At the very least, Johan is making himself useful and standing outside the door to make sure no one enters unannounced. And now, here I am, dabbing an handkerchief at my wetsuit to no avail. I'd have to be given the one of the maids to clean as soon as I get home. This is just horrible. The interlining is going to pucker and pull. But at least it's not wine, I suppose.
I'm so sorry about what happened out there, mate. But you know how it is with these officers. All testosterone and rank.